you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
This is the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Brandon is out today. My name is James DeJerome. I'm the producer of the Consumer Quarterback Show. If you know, the Consumer Quarterback Show is a team. We group together a bunch of business partners. They come in here, take time out of their busy days to provide some information and knowledge to help your dollar go farther in the marketplace. Brandon is also a realtor, and he's an owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So we're going to talk a lot of home services on the show. Part of our team is sponsors. You know, we can't have a show without sponsors, and the sponsor for this segment is Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning has come on board recently. It's a minority-owned business, family business, and she did such a good job cleaning Brandon's property that she is now the official cleaner for all the real estate properties of the Platinum MVP team. Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning Services, who you want to call if you need any cleaning business done. Again, she's the official partner here for all the real estate properties you'll hear on the Consumer Quarterback Show. In addition to Jade's, we've got some properties. You know, Brandon is the owner of Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. He's got real estate properties even in this time of real estate scarcity. Here's one at 12500 Hamlin Road in Spring Hill. He's got 41 acres zoned agricultural, access to multiple roads. It's right near Highway 41 and County Road 52 up there in Pasco. Huge tract of land, man. You can start a ranch up there. The Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty has real estate for you. 41 acres right there, 12500 Hamlin Road in Spring Hill. Give him a call. He's got property for you to check out. Let me see another one up there, Johnny. 5510 South Elkins Ave. This is in Tampa. This is a chance for you to build your own. Zoned residential. It's a Ballast Point community, 12 minutes from downtown Tampa, 4 minutes from the yacht club. It's not going to last long. Because of the scarcity in our real estate market, you want to jump on these properties. 5510 South Elkins Ave in Tampa. The Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty has all your real estate needs covered. In addition, of course, the show, Brandon has put the show on all over the place. We're now streaming live to multiple platforms. We're on the air every day, AM 860. You can hear us 4 o'clock. Of course, Sunday we do the show 102.5 FM. And we are also listed for smart TV owners. You can search Binge TV Networks on any smart TV, and that'll take you Roku, Fire TV, Apple, Amazon. You can find the Consumer Quarterback Show. So we urge you to look for us in all our different spots. And we got a great show for you planned today. I've got Chuck Peterson from Suncoast Roofing. Now, Chuck comes in all the time. Sometimes he's out in the Panhandle. He's driving all over the place trying to help folks with storm damage. What's the latest going on with Chuck?
Oh, good to be here, James. Shout out to Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the latest is there's still a lot of damage up north. Yeah. You know, we don't get past really the Florida line much other than just the tip of Alabama over there. Mm-hmm. But a lot of damage. You know, we got a lot of guys that we work with that are in the Panhandle, in Alabama, in Louisiana. You know, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. The second storm really crushed them up.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, we talk all the time on the show about the poor folks and that stretch between Houston and the Panhandle. It just keeps getting battered. It seems like every year at least one big one goes through there. These folks have had 2 storms this year and are just barely recovering from number 1. Here comes number 2. Right.
And I know you put an article over here for Lake Charles, and you know what they've got to say up there. And they took a hit the first time that was pretty bad in and of itself. Mm-hmm. And then they got the second storm, Delta, that came in and just basically flooded everything up. The first one tore everything up, and they had streets piled of debris. Then the second storm came in and flooded it all, and it just went back. It's a tough road to hoe up there.
I can imagine.
Now.
You know, you talk about the debris, and it's one thing just to do a tear down. You're starting on a re-roof. You got a bunch of stuff. Think about all the debris being generated, all the new roof material, all the stuff that's got to get cleaned out of there.
Yeah,
and you're going to need a landfill or two just to get rid of this debris.
I'm sure they have trucks running all over the countryside trying to find somewhere to put it all. It's just like every other hurricane, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's to get hit twice in 2 months that's a tough deal. That's a tough
really
pill
rough
to swallow.
We talked a lot about scarcity, not just with shingles, but all kinds of plywood prices going up, that kind of thing. Is it regional, Chuck, or is it these folks going to feel it where they are because they got hit twice, but we're going to feel it also down here?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to feel it. You know, we're going to feel it. Everybody in the U.S. is feeling the effects of the storms, right? The capacity for materials, just what you can actually make in the U.S. by the manufacturers is at 24/7. I mean, they're literally going hard as they can go. but because of the damage from all the storms we've had, because we've had them in the Northeast, all through the Gulf, every area that gets hit eats up, unusual amount of demand. It's not necessarily calculated in the running orders. And right now we're probably down to maybe 2 or 3 shingle colors we can even get in the state of Florida right now. I mean, we literally are telling people, hey, you can get this color, this color, this color, and we can get your roof on this year. Otherwise, you're going to actually wait until next year.
Wow.
For us to get
Chuck, what is the amount? What is the max you can advise somebody to go with a tarp up there?
Oh, a tarp's going to be good for 30, 60 days. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of where we're at right now is everything's slow, right? Mm-hmm. You got all these storms, all the insurance companies are backed up. If you got damage to your house, it's taken a while to get stuff settled because there's only X amount of adjusters in the world, X amount of people who can go look at the stuff. The insurance companies are backed up.
Tough to get around.
Yeah, and then it makes, if you get say we get a little storm like you were talking about Sunday, we had that wind come through. Mm-hmm. It wasn't huge, but if we get one of those storms like we get every now and then, it gets 60, 75 mile an hour and starts blowing, the older shingles off those roofs, then you're calling guys to come look at your house, and you're in line behind the 4 hurricanes worth of people, right?
It's backing up.
Yeah, it's just tough right now. It is tough all over the U.S., not just Florida.
Not just finding materials, finding folks to work too.
Absolutely. I mean, I know you and I have talked about this in the past, and Brandon too. Is in our business, of course, it's tough anyway, right? Roofing is in the state of Florida is not something everybody signs up for, right? Rough. It's 110 degrees in the roof in July, and you're out there sweating bullets.
Hot tar and sun don't go together.
Yeah, so it's always hard to find good help. But now it is exceedingly hard because there's an abundance of demand. Mm-hmm. For roofers, right? I mean, all across those states that we've talked about, everybody that's over there needs a roof. So it has really been tough for us as a big company, to even get enough people to keep up the jobs we got just normal.
I think homeowners now got to be more proactive and they can't just wait for storm damage. I'm not saying go out and buy shingles before you have a problem or something so that you have your own stockpile, but get up on your roof and take a good look around and make sure you can do whatever you can do to try to keep this thing from peeling back.
Yeah, I will say the last month or so that, because I do a lot of the HOA communities and the apartment complexes, and I'm telling all those people who are in charge, hey, if you're thinking about, if your budget's call for you to get a roof for next year, you need to make that plan in the first quarter so that you can get it done next year. Because the reality is if you wait till July or August next year and we happen to get another couple storms,
backlog,
we're not going to be out of production issues we have now by then. I mean, it's literally, there's just not enough capacity.
So even folks who aren't storm victims, you're just out there thinking this is a good year for my re-roof. I've kind of been planning on a renovation. You may have to consider the fact that there's a lot of folks in line waiting on roofs.
I mean, it's going to be, a month or two minimum if you can pick a color, if you can live with a color that we can get.
Now, is that the same scarcity for metal? If you were going to do a tile or metal?
I'm saying the metal that we use on the roofs, it is scarce, but it's not as bad as, we could still get that material. Okay. Currently still going to be backed up a ways because of just demand, but we can still get all the colors. We can still get the material.
Would you ever advise somebody who was in line for a shingle roof but didn't want to wait a year to step up and try to go to a metal or change their?
That's just that's an opinion of how you aesthetics to your house. All the products in the state of Florida are really good. The state of Florida's building codes are the strictest in the country. And so every product that goes on your roof is really good these days. So if you want to change from one product to another, it's really a matter of aesthetics, or are you in an HOA that says you can only have tile or you can only have metal? So it's not a question of,
is
it better? Yeah. It's really, when you drive in your driveway, what do you want it to look like?
Well, I told you before, I got a second floor and a kind of a gable side first floor, and I was thinking of a combination metal shingle. I don't know that I've seen that done.
No, we do that a lot. We do, like the entranceway over your front door, they'll put metal on that and shingle the rest of the house, or metal on a, on a side piece that goes to a pool area or something like that.
For the look.
Yeah. It's for aesthetics, but it comes out. It looks really nice. You can make them either contrasting or the same color, but just a different. Has a
I've
different
seen some
feel
really
to it.
nice looking metal roofs where I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah.
And they don't age very much. I mean, they look pretty new even after a couple of years.
Yeah, if you get the, you have to get the right Kynar paint that goes on the baked on paint, not just the regular old, because we've all seen the metal roofs where they're green and now they're little light green, or they were red, now they're pink. They make paint now, that they'll bake on to the panels and guarantee no fade for 25 years. And, you can get a lot of really good use out of it.
It's amazing the GAF has 50 years on the shingle,
Correct.
and the metal is 25.
Yeah, from
How
the
about
manufacturer. Now they're going to last. All of them are going to last.
Right.
But the manufacturer is a 25. Now it's a limited lifetime. So if you stay in the house, the homeowner gets to, as long as it's there. Same with your tile manufacturers. It's 25 years, but it's limited lifetime. So as long as you live in the house, the tile's under warranty. So you could get a 50 out of those too, but it has to be for one person.
Make sure you recognize Chuck and Suncoast are GAF, and that warranty, you're not going to find anyone putting 50 years on a shingle.
No, I mean, it's the best warranty in the business.
I'll be lucky if I'm here with the shingles. The
I'm not
warranty's
going to be
expire.
testing it myself.
50 years.
Yeah,
holy
it's going
cow.
to go to somebody else a little younger than me. It's going to get the chance to see, does it pay out or not?
Yeah, especially with the storms as active our storm seasons are 50 years from now. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing. Chuck, you guys do commercial, residential. You talked about apartment complexes, different structures that you've done. You showed me. I remember seeing a big old job. Was it a car dealership or some kind of big commercial business?
We've done just about everything there is to do out there. I mean, we do strip malls, apartment complexes, marinas, office buildings.
Just about working the whole state.
Yeah, those big jobs, we go all over the state. The residential jobs, we go mostly where our offices are, but it still covers probably 2/3 of the state. So.
Now I know we're dealing a lot with emergency and storm kind of stuff, but one of the coolest products that Chuck has is this solar that you guys do. Just talk about how it's different from typical solar that folks are used to seeing.
So everybody out there listening can envision a solar panel going on top of your shingle roof, and we put that brand new roof on, and your solar company comes out there and they screw right through the shingles to put the stands on for that solar panel to go on top.
I'll
of
make
your
a
roof.
roofer wince seeing a hole go right through a brand new roof.
It does immensely. However, it voids your warranty immediately, right? So GAF has a product, a solar panel that we can put directly to the deck to go right on your deck, no shingles underneath it. You shingle around it, and we seal around it so it looks more like a skylight than a solar panel. And it comes with a 25-year warranty from GAF when we put the panels on and the roof on at the same time, and you don't have to worry about your warranty being voided either way.
No wind shear, nothing getting underneath that stuff? No birds nesting down there?
No, it's literally screwed straight to your roof deck with the fire retardant peeling stick underneath it. No shingles between the panel and the roof deck at all. So it's right on your roof deck. We shingle around it.
You're seeing more folks get that?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if you have a shingle roof and you're going to put solar panels on it, it's absolutely the way to go.
I agree. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to put a hole right through the roof after you put the roof on.
No, none. Zero.
All right, so solar panels, you talked about the GAF warranty. Chuck, are you currently looking for employees?
Yes, as probably most people around, but we're always looking for good sales guys and production guys. If there's anybody listening who wants to do roofing as a production, we are clearly trying to find that, as everybody else in the state probably is. But
you've got crews at different locations that you send out?
All over the state, really. And, like we've talked about before, we got 6 offices all around, but we send guys, all over the state. But, on the West Coast, the East Coast, the middle of the state, Orlando, all through there. We've got offices all through there. So anybody who's interested in selling, we have a pretty good company.
I'm telling you, well, when you go door to door and you're selling a 50-year warranty, you're going to have a lot more people saying, "Wow, that's a crazy warranty for a salesman."
Yeah, and our guys luckily don't have to go door to door very often. We have enough calls coming in that those guys are pretty steady busy.
Staying busy, Suncoast Roofing. That's Chuck Peterson, longtime friend of the show. Chuck, what's the best way for folks to get Suncoast if they want to get an estimate, they want you to come out and look at their roof, they want something new?
Straight to the website.
Okay.
The www.suncoastroofing.com, or the commercial guys at suncoastroofingcommercial.com, or they can send a link to the show over here. Brandon sends me the information when you guys send in a request to the show.
Lots of ways to get in touch with Chuck. All your roofing needs, any questions you got about roofing, boy, he's a long-time resource for information for me. I love when he comes on the show, and I feel so bad for those hurricane victim folks out there, and I want to make sure they have at least some knowledge and someone they can get in touch with that'll certainly come out and do the best they can for them. All right, that's Chuck Peterson. Thanks so much for coming in, Chuck. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we got Fred Muth. I don't know if you heard Brandon and him. He's the Tin Man. Brandon has him on all the time. So we're going to talk to Fred about all things Tampa screens and aluminum. Don't go anywhere. Consumer Quarterback Show rolls on.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
That's right. Give Brandon a call for all your real estate needs. He and the Platinum MVP Team with Keller Williams got plenty of properties, even in this time of real estate scarcity. I want to introduce you to our sponsor for this segment. It is Golf Cart Depot. Golf Cart Depot, very cool concept. You know, they sell golf carts, of course, but every different kind. You know, Brandon bought a golf cart because I think he wanted to do some business and drive around his neighborhood. But all of a sudden, the kids get a ski rope and a skateboard, and they'll take it all day long. So everyone wants a golf cart. So it's a great thing. They customize them for recreational use, business use, colors, wraps, different sizes and shapes, everything you can think of. Discovery Golf Carts in Tampa, Clearwater. Also, discoverygolfcarts.com if you want to check them out. But they have so many cool options. All right, as you know, Brandon is a realtor, the Platinum MVP Team. He's got the properties for me to pitch to you in case you are looking for properties. We've got one at 6128 Oak Ridge Ave in Newport Richey. This is a full acre, 4,131 square feet, 4-4 right on waterfront bay access. Wow, that is a beautiful home. I tell you, nice updated inside, new floors, new ceilings. Looks like a really sharp spot. 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue, Newport Richey, a full acre, 4-4 and waterfront home. Man, it's really nice. What else you got for me, Johnny? 12500 Hamlin Road in Spring Hill. This is 41 acres in case you want to start a ranch. You can become a farmer or something up there. Look at all that land. Well and septic. Access from multiple roads. It's near Highway 41 and County Road 52 in Pasco. 12500 Hamlin Road in Spring Hill, 41 acres from the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. Give Brandon a call for all your real estate needs. All right, we heard from Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing in segment 1. Fred Muth from Tampa Screens and Aluminum is on the phone. Fred, what's going on with Tampa Screens?
The same thing that's going on with Chuck Peterson, just extremely busy. Chuck, if you have any extra employees, send them our way if you know how to do pool cages.
Yeah.
But at the break we were talking, and you know, it's just unbelievable how much business is out there. We don't have the business because of storms. We have the business because of the super virus. People are sitting at home, and they want to do improvements, whether it's screen enclosures, room additions regardless. They're trying to improve their homes. It's overwhelming, I'll admit. We handled it very well. The leads come in. I'm getting 60 to 80 leads a week right now, not a month.
Now, Fred, you've been doing this quite a while. How does that stack up to your basic amount of leads for a month or a week?
Well, I go back I've been in the business since 1992, and I go back to 2004 when the economy was booming, and I was, of course, in this business. And then we had the storms. We had 4 storms go across.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it's just a matter of no matter how busy you are, no matter how large or small the job is, you have to make contact with the person once they call in. And you have to be upfront. If you can't get to it right away, and I tell people in some cases I'm 2 to 3 weeks out just to get you measured.
Okay.
And most of them are okay with that. And when they ask me if we can get the job done by Christmas, and I say most likely not, because the permitting is a problem right now.
Oh, yeah.
Permitting has been a tremendous problem for the past 8 or 9 months, and it's not getting better. And I wish it would. I don't see any reason for it to continue to drag on as bad as it does.
Hey, Fred, do homeowners realize they need, when it comes to the screen, do they think they need a permit? Are they aware sometimes that they have to pull a permit?
Well, I would say 10% of them are unaware of that. Yeah. And there are people that become argumentative about that. No, we don't need a permit. And then I just give them the phone number of the building department. Then they call me back, and it's structure. You're going to, and of course with the concrete, you're going to have a permit for the concrete as well. So everything is done correctly. If it slides through without a permit, it's a problem. And it's a problem for the homeowner. It can be a problem for the contractor. It's a problem for Brandon when he lists it and tries to sell it because it went in without a permit. It's just a problem all the way down the line. So there's no reason to shortchange it and not consider the permit. Go forward, do it right. I'm trying to do a job at my house right now. I've been waiting since June for permits. It's just, and I'm patient.
Is there any particular jurisdiction that's better than others when it comes to permitting, Fred, your experience?
City of Tampa has always been on my favorite list, even though they have a lot of particulars that a lot of salespeople do not like because it throws a wrench in on the process. But I agree with with their particulars. Like, for example, the distance between the screen room and the oak tree, 25% percolation. Everything that matters. Right. That's not so common in Pasco. That's not so common in Hillsborough, outside of the city. But it should be in reality, because you don't want the screen rooms going right up next to trees. That's not a good thing. It's all the way down the line. Even if the tree is not a problem now, the tree will make it a problem in 2 to 3 years. It's going to crack everything up. The roots will.
I know you.
People, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you do such a good job with being careful about pouring slabs. Where that water is going to go. We talk about percolation all the time down here, and how quickly you can get yourself into a flood or a problem if you just pour the slab and don't realize where you're sending that water.
That's right. I just tell people to just drive through South Tampa in a rainstorm, and then I don't have to say any more because it doesn't go anywhere, and it's unfortunate. There's high ticket real estate down there, and boy, they all pay the price with the low elevations, and it's overbuilt basically. Yeah. So the water hits and it stays; it doesn't move, and it's a shame. The further east you come, obviously the ground level elevation begin to go up a little bit. And I'm right outside of Brandon. I'm actually the north side of Riverview, South Brandon. I have one of the highest properties here. I think I'm 45 to 60 feet above sea level, which is incredible. Yeah. It's I'm 2.5 miles from the Alafaya River. If I walked out on Providence Road and dropped a golf ball, it would roll all the way down to the river. So I'm fairly high, Right. But these are the things that really matter in our business. And I always make the comment about, when they put the new subdivision in, they dig the retention pond, and unfortunately the retention pond never fills with water, but the ballpark down the street is loaded with water. And, the water, you can't always determine which direction it's going to go, because it has to do, people explain it to me that it has to do with the aquifer and how the aquifer flows underneath.
We're going to get into a little more of that when we come back from this break, but I just wanted to get everyone thinking about that. A screen room, just like an addition to your home, requires a permit. It requires somebody with experience. You see, Fred Muth has lots of years in this business. You don't want to just bring someone out who's just going to say, I can do that for you, without giving you the real inside. So, again, we're so happy to have Fred Muth as a partner on the show. We're going to talk more with Fred after this break. Don't go anywhere. Consumer Quarterback Show continues.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Fred, Chuck just said goodbye. We weren't clear yet, but he was saying goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, Chuck.
Doing better, but he wouldn't tell me if he wasn't. I wouldn't know. So everyone tells me it takes a couple weeks. The first week's rough. Yeah. Again, you would never know. The guy looks healthy as a horse. Yeah, no, he just had a test, and they said, "Hey, man, you had some blockage. It doesn't look, better take care of this." And I think everybody was pretty surprised. Appreciate it.
Fred, they're just getting set up in there. Patrick is now sitting down in the seat.
You don't have to. You can pull LLC.
Okay.
You can just be access to the sign. Okay. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. Yep. Yes, you got it. So we're still going to do a few minutes with Fred, and then we'll get to you, Patrick, after a break. Jose, you feel all right?
Yeah.
I think Johnny's good.
I just need to get a mic check from Patrick.
Patrick,
first.
slide in there and talk. Count to 10 or something for us.
Mm-hmm. Testing. 1, 2.
Is he right up on the mic? Because he sounds low.
Nah, he's getting closer, yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
So Johnny's ready?
He is, and as long as we got Fred, we're good.
Fred's still here.
Okay.
Still here.
Alrighty then, everybody stand by, please.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com is where you can find all the partners on the Consumer Quarterback Show, in addition to our great sponsors that keep the program running. We got a sponsor for this segment. It's Replenish IV Solutions. Replenish IV Solutions, what a unique business model. These folks are going to give you a vitamin-infused drip and IV, and they'll do it at their location, or they'll come right to you or your business or your home and make sure that your immune system has got all the vitamins and minerals that it requires. Replenish IV Solutions, very cool business model, something new. Steve and Lisa Gunnan, longtime friends of the show. Give them a call. Replenish IV Solutions, really cool. They'll come to you if you can't come to them. Or check them out online at replenishivsolutions.com. All right, we've also got some properties in this time of real estate scarcity. Brandon and the Platinum MVP team have some properties in addition to the ones we pitched earlier on the show. So Johnny's going to throw up a few properties for me right here. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa is 5 acres. It's 2,000 square feet home on property. It's a 3-2 built in 68. It's a prime development opportunity close to shopping malls. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa, 5 acres. So lots of room for you to spread out there from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Give Brandon a call. What else you got, Johnny? 520 George Street South in Tarpon. 3,622 square feet. It's a 4-3 lakefront. It's got a mother-in-law suite and a fireplace. Really good-looking property. Updated kitchen, floors, and ceilings look really sharp. 520 George Street South in Tarpon Springs, right on the water. Boy, give Brandon a call. The Platinum MVP team has real estate, even in this time of scarcity. Let him. Here's one, 520 George Street South. Oh, that was what we just saw. Okay. Thank you, Johnny. All right. Coming back, we got Dr. Fred Muth on the phone. I'm just kidding about that. I call him the doctor, but Brandon calls him the Tin Man. What's going on, Fred?
Well, if you want to call me the doctor, I say I got to go see patients this afternoon.
Well, you got the professor of screens.
Well, okay, I'll take that.
Okay.
You know, when Brandon started with the Tin Man, I just kept thinking of the movie with Danny DeVito and Richard Dreyfuss. I said, geez, I hope people don't put me in that category.
Now, wait a minute.
Maybe I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Well, that movie wasn't about a screen guy, was it? That was a pilot thing, or were they air traffic controllers?
No, that was about the aluminum siding that came out in the
okay.
60s. And every shyster and his cousin got into the business, and they did everything they could to sell you siding. And, of course, they were called the Tin Men. And when I started in this business, that term was still around.
Okay.
You'd talk to people, and they go, "You sound like a Tin Man." I go, "Oh, well, I am, and essentially I am, but I'm not them guys."
Right, you're the opposite. In fact, you're trying to give them a great deal.
Yeah, we do. I mean, that's the thing about this business. You have to be realistic, and it's not a sales pitch. You know, you don't keep it simple, but you don't complicate it. You're selling a construction project. You know, I'm not selling a pair of shoes. You don't have to close the deal right away. You have to listen to the customer's needs, what they want, and offer them the options that are out there. And of course, then whatever price range they need to be in, you try to get something based on that. You know, a lot of times I'll request that. What's our budget on the project? And they give me a number, and I can tell them typically what size of a project that we can do. And that way, it stops beating around the bush. At least they know where you are. I'm going to go measure one tomorrow. They want almost the entire rear yard done. And, the first thing I said to them, I said that, it's in this X amount of dollar range. They said to me, that's fine. We already have one estimate. So, that's the kind of thing you have to really.
Fred, how often do you find everyone thinks a screen room, they know what a screen patio is, but you guys have some unique designs and curves and circle. It's not just a square box anymore. So when you get out there and they're asking for just a simple cage, and you're like, well, we could really give you a little panoramic or some elevation, or you show them all the different options available.
Yeah, when they ask for the standard cookie cutter, I start yawning, and then they say, "What's wrong?" I go, "Well, let's talk about some options." So basically, in today's world, there are a lot more options than when I first got into the industry.
Yeah.
And the panoramic view right now, that's the big item. And man, I really like it. If you have a beautiful backdrop, out the rear of your property, and if I can offer, one or two openings out the back instead of 6 or 8,
get rid of those posts.
Yeah, it's for curb appeal, it's going to add value to the home. It's going to give much better curb appeal to the property. So that's right now. That's about 15% of my cage sales. It's been about panel view right now, and I'm selling a lot of cages.
Yeah, you said you're backed up, pretty busy.
Yeah, I walked in. Well, I don't walk in the office right now. They invite me in to see the work board, and I won't go in. I said, just take a picture of it, and they said, I won't. We're just going to tell you there's 90 pool cages on the work board.
Wow. Now, just like Chuck Peterson with Suncoast has got tons of work going on, you guys are looking for people. But now they tell me that you used to walk those beams up there, Fred.
I know. I never walked the beam.
Oh,
the installers do. I mean, they tried to get me up a couple times. They played games with me because I sold a 2-story once or twice in my life, and the installers don't like 2 stories. They had me up there, tell me there was a problem, and of course they try to push me out on the beam just to make me feel the way they feel when they're out there trying to roll the screen in.
No, well, I can't imagine. What is that? About 2 inches wide?
It's 2-inch wide beam. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
and I see the installers walk the beams and roll the fabric, and it takes a certain type of individual to be a screen enclosure installer. They're unique. They're talented. And,
I agree.
Not everybody can do it.
Hey, tell them the story about how strong that aluminum is, though. My fear was that the aluminum's going to give, but it's not going to give.
Well, no, it isn't. And during the break, I was talking about one of our competitors who I've known for years. I won't mention their name, but at the home shows, when I used to work the shows, they'd set him up in the northwest corner of the arena, and they'd set me up in the southeast corner, so we weren't near each other. And he would actually hang his automobile from the cage. He'd build about a 16-foot square cage, and he had a little gable roof on the top, so he anchored it significantly to the floor. so that the beam, the gable beam would not spread out by the weight of the car, and
actually held it up in the air. Unbelievable.
3,000 pounds, and people, they would ask me down the other end. They say, "How strong is your cage?" I go, "Just as strong as the guys in the corner over there." there's that guy. Yeah, you'll see him.
That display works for you.
It wasn't. Because we knew each other. So and a lot of times we would actually share leads from the shows. We would get so many leads together. But no, it's a very strong product, and it has to be engineered to take a certain wind load. People say, "Well, is yours stronger than the other guys?" Well, in theory, no. They're all built to satisfy a certain wind load, and the engineer that signs off, they'll sign off on 2 or 3 aluminum companies' designs. So basically, they're all very similar in strength. In some cases, we'll use a little bigger upright and a bigger top beam than some of the others. And I don't say that as a sales pitch. I just know that Richard, the owner of the company, a lot of times he'll go a little bit overkill, because of the reputation of the business. And that doesn't hurt, and it's not like I'm going to go out there and say, well, ours is stronger because it's got this bigger beam and bigger upright. I don't sell like that. I just say, everything is built to code, and it's all going to take the same wind load.
That's right. Tampa Screens and Aluminum have been around a long time anyway. You're not going to find another company in this area that has more experience than you guys.
Well, I believe Richard took it over in '89, and it was his dad's business prior to that. And now Ricky, he's running up the ladder. And, so it's 3 generations, basically. And the people that work there have all been there a long time. Richard's wife works there. She helps with permitting. So we're tight-knit. It's a very tight-knit company. When I made the jump from the other company, I made the jump because the guys that owned the other company, they were retiring. And my friendly competitor was Tampa Screens. So I went right over there, and the guys that owned the other company, they said, "Are you going over to Tampa Screens?" I go, I think I'm there already. so basically, when I went over, I took a couple of people with me, and I didn't miss a beat. Everything's the same, basically.
That's right. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the show. Fred, we're coming into a break. I just want folks to get in touch with, if they hear you on the show, how's the best way to get a product from you? What do they need to do?
Call 813-960-7064. Probably the best way. You can go on our website, www.tampascreensandaluminum.com. But the phone calls work the best.
All right.
We get calls. They leave messages. Fred will get back to you. Fred or Ricky or Richard or Chris. You remember Chris, don't you?
Sure, absolutely. All friends of the program. Tampa Screens and Aluminum, great company. All kinds of projects going on with Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Call Fred Muth. Get your insight. What is it? It's the what's the name for the room again? Brandon coined it. The outside in. What is it, Fred?
No. This is the Look, when you have a screen room, you are buying. What's he saying? Wait, how the hell is he saying?
You didn't.
Hey, hold on, you got me. The in-between space.
The in-between space, Fred. That's right.
Yeah. The in-between space. He comes up with a lot of good ones.
We miss him. All right, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. If you want your in-between space, give him a call. Tampa Screens and Aluminum, great longtime friend of the program. We're going to come back. We got Patrick Moraites in studio with us right here in our Salem Media Group studios. Axis Group. He's going to tell us all about what you can do as a business owner to make yourself a little bit emphasize your expertise and not chase things that you're not great at. Again, come on back, consumerquarterback.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or PlatinumMVPteam.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
That's right. Give Brandon a call for all your real estate needs. He and the Platinum MVP team have properties available even in this time of real estate scarcity. Of course, part of our show is a big part of our sponsors. Brandon has put together the program. He's got the great partners that come on board and give you information and help your dollar go a little farther in the marketplace. But we have a group of sponsors that really stand up and go the distance for you as well. So Brothers Easy Moving is the sponsor for this particular segment. Brothers Easy Moving is the exact mover that moved Brandon into his own home. So I got to see them up close and personal. These guys really worked extra that night, even in the dark. So Brothers Easy Moving became the real estate moving company. The partner for the Real Estate Quarterback Show after they moved Brandon because they did such a great job. So local or long distance, Brothers Easy Moving is the company for you. Get in touch with them for all your moving needs. They are the sponsor for the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we have a property to pitch right now. Brandon and the Platinum MVP team still have some properties for you. 8001 US Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is a commercial opportunity. 33 parking spaces on a busy corner lot. It's got a traffic light right there at 8001 US Highway 301. So residential and commercial opportunities available through the Platinum MVP team. Give Brandon a call and you can check out all the properties that he has available through Keller Williams. All right. Also, one of the big portions, one of the parts of the show that I like the most is the feel-good story. Brandon wants to make sure we give you some positive information every day. To that end, I've got a story about a young man who got his sight back after receiving gene therapy. An 8-year-old boy in Toronto was losing his vision due to a rare genetic disorder. Now he can see clearly again thanks to gene therapy. Sam was diagnosed after birth with a genetic disorder called retinitis pigmentosa. It's a form of genetic retinal degeneration resulting from mutations in a gene. Symptoms often begin in childhood with decreased vision or at night or low light, loss of your peripheral vision. And he said sometimes you have to walk in at night because I couldn't see things. You bump into things. So last year, he and his family traveled to the U.S. to try gene therapy. It wasn't approved yet in Canada. So his mother, Sarah, says, about a week later, I noticed he could dress himself. He could get his shoes on by himself. He was starting to show some independence. His improvements have continued throughout the year. After receiving gene therapy, he's so much more confident, his mother says. He's able to match his clothes. He can see very clearly. He doesn't have to need everyone to help him when it's dark outside. He's able to function as a normal child. The best part of the improved vision, he says, are seeing at night. He never saw stars before, and he also enjoys looking at airplanes at night. So what a cool story. Gene therapy, again, we talk on the show about technological advances and what's going on out there in the world. What a cool thing to have your sight restored at 8 years old. So great story there from the Feel Good story for Brandon in the Feel Good segment. Patrick Moraites owns PEO. Well, what is a PEO, Patrick? Let's start with that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being back on the show, and I want to echo your sentiments there. One of my favorite parts is the Feel Good story and the random acts of kindness.
That's right.
That closes it out. I can't imagine what having a limitation with sight would be. So that's
especially when you're 8 years old, man. That's tough.
Yeah, that's really tough. So yeah, I can't imagine seeing stars for the first time and what that feels like. So yeah, I'm glad you guys picked that one to share today.
All right.
But going back to your question on what is a PEO, it's an acronym for Professional Employer Organization, and really what that means, it really just it's such a broad acronym, Professional Employer Organization. What does that really mean? I gravitate towards another industry term called co-employment or employee leasing. I think that's a little bit more descriptive about the relationship that takes place, because ultimately what happens between the relationship between the business owner and the PEO is the PEO becomes the administrative employer, and the business owner is the worksite employer. So the worksite employer in charge of hiring, firing, managing, training, all your disciplining day-to-day activities, sales, all that stuff that they do on a day-to-day basis. It's the back-end minutia or those back-office burdens that the PEO takes off your plate to increase those efficiencies that you mentioned. So administering payroll, administering workers' comp, providing HR support, providing legal support, administering health benefits and 401k, things of that nature. They handle all that back end portion of the business.
What a great service for folks that have a great business idea or a particular thing that they're great at. They're a great chef, or they're a great at one or particular discipline, but not necessarily all the clerical minutia that comes with the back end of a business.
It's one of those things you overlook. I remember when I was first contemplating going into business, and I talked to a mentor of mine, and he goes, "Here's what they don't, tell you is like, you got to factor in paper and ink and pens." And it's
the first thing I thought was, what if someone wants to pay me with a credit card? What if someone wants, I just had all these questions come up besides the fact that I can do a service and you're interested in getting my service, but there's a lot in between those.
So much stuff that just comes with, you don't just, form your LLC on Sunbiz and off and go. There's so
licensing
much
and permitting, and again, knowing changing rules and regulations in your field.
And all that is what the PEO is going to support you with, especially state changes, federal law changes. Obviously, we dealt with a lot of federal changes with respect to the CARES Act and the PPP loan, and how to handle unemployment with everything that took place.
A couple of personal experiences with business owners who got caught up in the COVID thing, but it was a matter of not getting their paperwork done on time, not having the correct forms filled out. Maybe they'd missed out on an opportunity because it was something they weren't strong at. They're better at their business than they are at their clerical work.
Exactly. And it's a true strategic partnership that the PEO is providing in that regard, and they facilitate providing all those documents for the business owner so they can apply for those necessary loans. And now we're in that forgiveness loan portion of the CARES Act, where that's still up for kind of debate. All the banks still don't know how it's all going to mesh out or flush out. There's quite a few that are petitioning for $150,000 and down to just be automatically forgiven. As grants, but
we'll see.
We'll see how it all plays
hiring.
out.
If you're a business owner out there, you're familiar with how much time you spend hiring.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's very difficult. You go through a long process. You're not even sure you picked the right person. Talk about hiring a little bit, taking the burden off.
Yeah, especially from like an onboarding standpoint, a PEO can really help. And then from a hiring standpoint, getting that counsel from a certified HR professional. All PEOs have certified HR professionals on staff, so you can reach out to them, get a list of appropriate questions, maybe get some direction on, whether it's appropriate to background screening or personality profile, and kind of build out that appropriate plan, because it costs so much money to onboard someone.
Yeah.
And then especially if you put them through training only for you both maybe to mutually find out it's not a right fit, right? They don't like your organization, or they don't like the job, and then they don't fit your culture. You got to part ways and move on and start over. So there's a lot of things they can do to support from that.
Have you been in touch or had a situation arise where there was an NDA involved and you had to work with somebody about knowledge or training that you gave them, and then they move on and you're upset about that?
Not personally, but I'm sure it does come up. A lot of companies are sensitive to their proprietary process and procedures and things of that nature. So, that's where I think you guys have a couple friends of the program that are labor attorneys that could help, put together an appropriate, employment, not application, but, employment agreement that kind of helps protect them from any stealing of any proprietary processes and stuff like that.
When I think of PEO, all the things that I would need to lean on you guys for, it's because it's what I lack. It's the thing I'm not good at. It's what I don't know about my business. What businesses in your mind fit or are natural fits for a PEO?
Yeah, that's a great question. Startups, new businesses are a great client. I was checking out Sunbiz recently, and a lot of people are scratching that itch right now because of the amount of layoffs and everything else. So Sunbiz right now is processing new business applications from the 8th, and it's the 20th. So they're behind because I think a lot of people have decided, well, I'm no longer employed. I got to do something to bring in money. So they're trying to start their business. So new businesses is a great opportunity because we can set up the payroll. We can get the workers' comp in place, and then the HR support. So you have that whole bundled solution of technology, insurance, payroll, all bundled into one. Another great resource is staffing companies. We work with a lot of staffing companies across the country. That's a segment that's been growing significantly, again, due to the amount of people unemployed. They're reaching out to staffing companies for placement so they can bring in some income. So they've seen significant growth. So that and construction, obviously, those three segments are probably the biggest that we're seeing right now in construction, predominantly in Florida.
Right.
As you're indicating with the listings here, there's a shortage of property because everyone's flooding the Northeast and the Midwest to come here.
At least 4 cranes you'll see in the skyline of Tampa. If you want to look up there, there's at least 4 big major cranes doing construction projects.
The other day, I think I counted 20.
Yeah.
Downtown, it's insane. It is absolutely insane.
So if you're a business owner and you're not sure about how to do some of the things in the background, and you don't want to make a mistake, you don't want to open yourself up to fines or any kind of issues as far as permitting and licensing, you better check it out. Patrick is a great resource for you because he can do those things that you're not great at.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we're here for, to help manage risk and keep people compliant so that they don't stay out of trouble, so they can focus in on what they, swinging that hammer or recruiting that person.
Think of all the changing regulation in this time of COVID-19 that what's gone on in the last year. There's so many new nuances and changes and things you better be aware of.
Yeah, it's been absolutely ridiculous from an HR standpoint. Our HR department side of things has, let's just say they've been quite busy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh my gosh,
they haven't been bored.
Right.
That's a fact.
First we're back full staff, then we cut back down, and then business owners are out there scrambling to find people and make sure they're covered.
Yeah, and I feel like there's speaking with other business owners, I feel like there's no shortage of opportunity. It's a matter of finding the the right people for the work. There's no shortage of jobs in this market, right, to say the least.
Patrick Moraites, Axis Group. Patrick, what's the best way for people who are debating, or maybe they want to start a business but they're scared? How do they get questions or get to you?
Yeah, they can go to our website, which is axisgroupllc.com. We've got a lot of resources on there, a lot of free white papers where people can read up. We recognize and understand, especially if someone is motivated to start a business or go out on their own, sometimes this is something they want to tackle on their own without a broker. So we provide the resource, all the checklists, all the questions they need to ask and be aware of.
Some education for you folks out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool, very cool. All right, Patrick Moraites, Axis Group, he's out there to help you get your business going and maybe have questions for a business that's going, and maybe he can improve efficiencies.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much. Great show today. I want to thank Chuck Peterson for coming in and Fred Muth for being on the phone with us and Patrick coming in the studio. Check us out online at consumerquarterback.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.